viral diseases. Important viral diseases are chickenpox, smallpox, measles or rubella, mumps, dengue, Zika, swine flu, bird flu, chikungunya, finally Ebola. First viral disease, chicken pox, caused by a virus, namely varicella zoster virus or varicella virus causes chicken pox, and chicken pox is the important viral disease. Children are pathogenic, children are severely affected after 6 months of age. But chickenpox characters or symptoms include small lesions on the skin. After few days, these lesions will close on, then completed on the skin, and shedding out of the skin. Next and chickenpox, generally in treatment of chickenpox, we are using a drug namely calamine, a calamine drug. Calamine drug we are using in treatment of chickenpox. Next viral disease, that is smallpox. Smallpox caused by variola virus. Variola virus causes smallpox, and smallpox, for the smallpox vaccine was discovered by Edward Jenner in 1796. Edward Jenner was father of immunology. So symptoms include, smallpox symptoms include large lesions with pus, and also deep pits in the body of an organism, on the scalp, other vital organs like brain, stomach or intestinal region, or on the facial parts, etc. Smallpox, it is the world's first eradicated disease, or it is eradicated completely, and no case is reported after 1978. Next viral disease, measles, also called rubella, caused by rubeola virus. Main symptoms include fever and red rashes on the skin. Fever, red rashes on the skin. Two are the important symptoms in measles or rubella, and for this disease there is a vaccine, namely MMR, measles, mumps, rubella. MMR vaccine for measles or rubella. It is a contagious disease, means spread by contact. Next viral disease, mumps, caused by paramyxovirus. Mumps affects the salivary glands, namely parotid salivary glands. Largest salivary glands in man. And there are 3 pairs of salivary glands in man, in which parotid glands are the largest type of salivary glands. That means paramyxovirus affects the salivary glands, and mode of infection, mumps through contamination of saliva, and contamination of other fluids, or contaminated food and water. Okay, for the treatment of mumps also we are using a vaccine, that is same, namely MMR vaccine, mumps, measles, rubella. Next viral disease, dengue, caused by a virus which belongs to flavivirus category. Flavivirus group of viruses causes dengue, also called Brackbone fever or breakbone fever. breakbone fever. So symptoms include swollen lymph nodes, fever, nausea, nothing but uneasy condition. And recently in the treatment of dengue, there is a drug extracted from a plant, namely Sesamum pelos pereira. Drug extracted from a plant for dengue disease, that is Sesamum pelos pereira. Okay, and this dengue disease, or in this dengue disease, one of the important characteristic feature is, or important pathogenic symptom is platelets counts fall down or reduces. Platelets are type of blood cells, also called thrombocytes. Platelets are also called thrombocytes. Platelets count or number falls down in or reduces in dengue. Next viral disease, Zika, caused by Zika virus. So first discovered in Uganda. Zika means it is a forest in the Uganda, and this Zika disease also called microcephalic condition or microcephalic disease, because by the infection of this virus, Zika virus, or in Zika disease, there is a small head in newly born children or in infants. Zika virus, it is a pandemic or epidemic disease, because it can spread within a short period of time to the entire country or entire complete area. Next to swine flu. Next is swine flu, caused by a virus, namely H1N1. Swine flu caused by virus H1N1. Also, it is epidemic disease. A short period of time it can spread. Short period of time in the particular region or entire world or in the country. Swine flu, for the in treatment of swine flu, we are using a drug, namely Tamiflu. Okay, and it is spread by swine flu, generally Zika, chikungunya, dengue, yellow fever are spread by Aedes aegypti mosquito, and swine flu through contaminated fecal matter or stools, saliva, aerosols or droplets, etc. Next viral disease, bird flu, caused by a virus H5N1. Bird flu also called avian flu. So it is a pandemic or epidemic disease, can spread throughout the world or throughout the country within a short period of time. So particularly poultry industry. So it affects bird flu, influenza category. Flu means influenza category. It can affect the poultry farm or poultry industry. Chikungunya, caused by chikungunya or chiku virus. Symptoms include severe joint pains, fever, chills, headache are the common symptoms or infective characters or disease characters. But severe joint pains are the important characteristic feature of chikungunya, caused by chiku virus, chick virus, and chikungunya is spread by, or it is spread by a vector, or that is female Aedes mosquito. Female Aedes mosquito or Aedes aegypti mosquito. Main characteristic feature of this mosquito is daytime bite. Daytime bite. Next to viral disease, Ebola, caused by Ebola virus. Ebola means it is a river in Central African Republic of Congo, or Central African or Congo, simply Congo. It is a river, and Ebola is caused by Ebola virus. Bats are the vectors for this disease, Ebola virus. World Health Organization, they declared the emergency for this disease. Next to fungal diseases. Main fungal diseases are ringworm, athlete foot, Madura foot, and Dobby itch. First, fungal disease, that is ringworm, caused by Microsporum, Trichophyton, and Epidermophyton. 3 genera of fungal organisms causes ringworm, and mode of infection is through contaminated, by using of contaminated objects or things of an infected person, like using of towels or combs or other cloths, infected person cloths, etc. And this fungal organism also present in the soil. That means it can spread through soil also. And characters include, or symptoms include, intensity of itching, rashes on the skin, red lesions on the skin, and it can grow in between toes, fingertips, where moisture is present. Next to athlete foot. This disease is also known as tinea pedis, also called tinea pedis. Main important symptoms of this fungal disease is skin is affected, and the person, those who spent most of the time in polluted water, last two digits or last fingers, and fourth and fifth, between fourth and fifth digits, there is a damage of the tissue, and in severe cases bleeding may occurs. Okay, and below the fingers or at soles regions, burning character is also present in athlete foot or tinea pedis. Next to third fungal disease, that is Madura foot. So athlete foot is caused by Trichophyton fungal organism, and Madura foot is caused by Perella mycetoma or Merella mycetoma. Merella mycetoma fungal organism causes Madura foot. Hence, it is also called mycetoma disease. Important symptoms include a large wound-like lesions on the foot region. In severe cases, there is a chance of removal of foot region or total entire leg. Next to Dobby itch. It is another important fungal disease. Different types of fungal organisms, fungal group of organisms causes Dobby itch. Symptoms include particularly genital organ regions or reproductive organs regions, inner part of the thigh region or inner to the thigh regions, itching, intensity of itching, the main characteristic features of this disease. Next to protozoal diseases. Main important protozoal diseases are malaria, amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. Means here this disease also called amoebic dysentery. Amoebic dysentery. Next, Kala Azar or dum-dum fever, also called visceral leishmaniasis, and Delhi boils are also called Tashkent ulcers or oriental sores. Malaria, it is a Italian word caused by Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium vivax. So, particularly Plasmodium vivax causes benign tertian malaria. Main important characteristic feature of this disease is bouts of fever. Bouts of fever means alternation, irregular fever, include cold stage, hot stage and sweating stage. So, in cold stage symptoms include chills, shivering, headache, giddiness, etc. And hot stage include temperature, high temperature, body temperature increases up to 102 to 104 degree temperature, high breathing rates, and sweating stage include propulsion of sweating by decreasing of body temperature. So, bouts of fever include these three stages. Bouts of fever is the characteristic feature of benign tertian malaria. The Plasmodium vivax causes particular type of malaria, namely benign tertian malaria. And cerebral malaria or malignant malaria is caused by Plasmodium falciparum. That is different, but here we are concentrating on malaria, that is benign tertian malaria caused by Plasmodium vivax. For this disease, a female Anopheles mosquito is the vector, and man is the secondary host. Female Anopheles mosquito is the primary host. Female Anopheles mosquito is the primary host, and man is the secondary host. What is meant by primary host? The host that lodges adult forms of a parasite or sexual forms of a parasite, or the host in which parasite undergoes sexual reproduction, called primary host or definitive host. What is meant by secondary host? The host that lodges immature forms of a parasite or larval forms of a parasite, or the host in which parasite undergoes asexual reproduction is known as secondary host. So, the man is the secondary host for Plasmodium vivax, and female Anopheles mosquito is the primary host for Plasmodium vivax. And monkey is the reservoir host. Monkey is the reservoir host for Plasmodium vivax. What is meant by reservoir host? The host in which parasite takes rest until the main host is available, or the host in which parasite takes rest whenever main host is not available. In this reservoir host, parasite neither goes any development or nor causes any problems to the reservoir host. So, monkey is the reservoir host for Plasmodium vivax. Female Anopheles mosquito is the primary host for Plasmodium vivax. Man is the secondary host. And mode of infection is through inoculation. And infective stages of a Plasmodium vivax is known as sickle shaped sporozoites. Sickle shaped sporozoites are the infective stages of Plasmodium vivax to man, and it is the cytozoic parasite. Plasmodium vivax is the cytozoic parasite that inhabits in the RBCs and liver cells. That means it can affect the RBCs and liver cells, nothing but hepatocytes. For the first time, Charles Laveran discovered Plasmodium vivax in the blood of malaria patient. And next to Sir Patrick Manson. Sir Patrick Manson, while working on elephantiasis, he suggested that malaria might be spread by mosquitoes. Very important point. Malaria might be spread by mosquitoes. This statement was given by Sir Patrick Manson while working on elephantiasis or filariasis. Next to Sir Ronald Ross. Sir Ronald Ross is a military doctor while working in Secunderabad. He discovered oocyst of Plasmodium vivax. Oocyst of Plasmodium vivax in the calf wall or stomach wall of female Anopheles mosquito on August 20th. Hence, every year August 20 is celebrated as World Mosquitoes Day. Not Malaria Day, Malaria Day. Malaria Day, that is April 25. World Mosquitoes Day, August 20, because Ronald Ross discovered oocyst in the calf wall of female Anopheles mosquito. Oocyst of Plasmodium vivax in the calf wall of female Anopheles mosquito on August 20. Hence, every year August 20 is celebrated as World Mosquitoes Day. World Malaria Day, that is April 25. And for this discovery, he was awarded to the Nobel Prize in 1902. So here, Bangalore, in Bangalore, Malaria Research Center is located at Bangalore, Karnataka. Okay, and for the treatment of malaria, we are using a drug, namely quinine drug, and this drug is extracting from a medicinal plant, namely Cinchona officinalis, particularly from bark of Cinchona officinalis. We are extracting a drug, namely quinine drug. This quinine drug is using in treatment of malaria disease. Also chloroquine, quinine in different types of chemical names, by different types of chemical names. Malaria, it is a tropical disease. That means it is present, it is common in hot environmental areas or hot climatical conditions. Like for example, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, these are the tropical countries. Recently, World Health Organization has declared the Sri Lanka as a malarial-free country. So very important, I think that is in Group 2, TSPSC Group 2 question. And for the prevention, or what are the prophylaxis or preventive methods? Main focus is for the prevention of malaria is destroying of mosquito species. For the destroying of mosquito species or mosquito eggs or larval forms, spraying of DDT, diphenyl trichloroethane, first insecticide discovered by Paul Muller on the ditches, ponds where eggs of Plasmodium or mosquitoes, eggs of mosquitoes are present, and DDT can destroy the eggs or insects of or mosquitoes. Next to benzene hexachloride, another chemical, spraying of benzene hexachloride on the sewage water or ditches, etc. Second prophylactic or prophylaxis or preventive method, that is introducing of larvivorous fish, namely Gambusia. It is a larvivorous fish. It can engulf or destroys the larval forms of mosquitoes. That's why introducing of Gambusia fish, another preventive method in malaria, and also planting of insectivorous plants like Utricularia, insectivorous plant. It is generally like Dracera, Nepenthes. These are the Utricularia or insectivorous plants. Utricularia, Dracera, Nepenthes. These are the insectivorous plants. For the destroying of mosquito eggs or larval forms of mosquito. Generally, mosquito larvae or larval forms of mosquito called wrigglers. So, wrigglers destroy for the destroying of wrigglers, we are using a fish, namely Gambusia fish, and plant, Utricularia plant, that is insectivorous plant. Next, spraying of kerosene, pyrethrin, another important preventive method in malaria. Last, using of mosquito coils, jets, repellents, etc. These are the important preventive methods regarding to malaria. Next, protozoal disease, amoebiasis, caused by Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica. Amoebiasis, also called amoebic dysentery. Amoebic dysentery. Amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery is also a tropical disease, and amoebiasis, it is common in tropical countries like Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and infective stages of Entamoeba histolytica to man are called tetranucleate cysts. Tetranucleate cysts are the infective stages of Entamoeba histolytica to man. And mode of infection is through contaminated food and water, because these tetranucleate cysts are present in the fecal matter of infected person. Whenever cockroaches and houseflies collect these tetranucleate cysts and releases onto the fresh food and water, thus food and water is contaminated. So whenever the contaminated food and water is consumed by healthy person, tetranucleate cysts or enters into the gut of man. Hence, tetranucleate cysts are called or considered as infective stages of Entamoeba histolytica to man. And cockroaches and houseflies act as mechanical vectors for this disease, amoebiasis. Now, what are the main important characters of this disease? So, first important characteristic feature of this disease is abdominal pain, because it is the intestinal parasite. Entamoeba histolytica, it is intestinal parasite that is present in the large intestine of man. That's why abdominal pain is the characteristic feature of first characteristic feature of amoebiasis. And second very important characteristic feature of amoebiasis is fecal matter or stools contain mucus, and in severe cases mucus with pus or blood are the two important. First important characteristic feature, abdominal pain, constipation, and so third very important diagnostic feature, that is stools are nothing but fecal matter. Stools or fecal matter consists of mucus and blood. In severe cases, pus may also be present in the fecal matter of amoebic patient or amoebic dysentery person. And here this amoebiasis disease, main important preventive method of this amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery is destroying of cockroaches and houseflies, and means like before eating proper hand wash, using of boiled water, proper hand wash, and before using of vegetables and fruits should compulsory cleaning and means filtering with means what by using of filtered water etc. are the important preventive methods of amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. Next protozoal disease, Kala Azar, also called dum-dum fever. Dum-dum fever or visceral leishmaniasis. Visceral leishmaniasis. Visceral leishmaniasis. Because it is caused by or Kala Azar or dum-dum fever or visceral leishmaniasis is caused by Leishmania donovani. Leishmania donovani. Leishmania donovani, protozoal parasite. And Kala Azar or dum-dum fever or visceral leishmaniasis is spread by sandflies or sandflies or sandflea and a vector. It is a vector for Kala Azar and caused by a pathogen namely Leishmania donovani. Delhi boils or Tashkent ulcer, also called oriental sores, caused by Leishmania tropica. Leishmania tropica. It is also a protozoal parasite and spread by same sandflies or sandflea. Okay. So these are the important two protozoal diseases. Next to helminthic diseases. Important helminthic diseases are teniasis, ascariasis, filariasis, also called elephantiasis. First teniasis. Teniasis, it is caused by Taenia solium, and Taenia solium belongs to a phylum namely Platyhelminthes. Body is a flat body, one of the important invertebrate phylum. Taenia solium belongs to class Cestoda, and phylum Platyhelminthes. That's why it is a platyhelminthic parasite. Taenia solium is the platyhelminthic parasite and it causes teniasis disease, and it is severe in a condition in children which leads to epilepsy, because it is an intestinal parasite, but it affects the nervous system in children, that leads to epilepsy in children. And common name of the Taenia solium is porcutiform. Common name porcutiform. Pork means meat of pig. Meat of pig is known as pork. The persons, those who consume improperly cooked measly pork, in such persons are severely affected to this disease, namely teniasis. And this Taenia solium, it is a intestinal parasite. Pig and man are the vectors. Host, pig is the primary host and man is the secondary host for Taenia solium. And pig, Suscropa is the scientific name of pig. And here larval forms of Taenia solium larval forms are called Cystocircus larvae, Cystocircus larvae or bladder worms. Cystocircus larvae or bladder worms are the larval forms of Taenia solium, commonly called porcutiform. Next to ascariasis. It is a nematodal disease. Because it is caused by Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides, commonly called roundworm, belongs to phylum Nematoda or Nematihelminthes. belongs to class Plasmidia. Only first one, Tinea solium, which causes teniasis, belongs to Platyhelminthes. Remaining 3 are nematodal parasites, in which ascariasis. So ascariasis disease is caused by Ascaris lumbricoides, commonly called roundworm. It is a nematodal parasite, no doubt. And this Ascaris lumbricoides, it is inhabits in small intestine of man, no doubt. It is also intestinal parasite or enteric parasite. Enteric word denotes intestine, that's why it is an intestinal parasite or enteric parasite. And it is the monogenic parasite. That means it completes its life cycle in single host, namely man. Man is the only host. Only man is the host for Ascaris lumbricoides. It is a monogenic parasite, and this Ascaris lumbricoides causes ascariasis, and infection, or by the infection of Ascaris lumbricoides, symptoms in ascariasis or in ascariasis disease: abdominal pain, stunted growth in children, stunted growth to abdominal pain, nutritional deficiency, the main important characteristic features of ascariasis disease. Next to filariasis or elephantiasis, caused by Wuchereria bancrofti. That inhabits in the lymphatic system of man or lymph vessels of man, Larval forms of Wuchereria bancrofti are called microfilariae. Okay, so lymph vessels are in the lymphatic system of man. It is present in lymph vessels or lymphatic system of man. Larval forms of Wuchereria bancrofti are called microfilariae. Filariasis, also called elephantiasis, because in the filariasis, in severe cases, legs become elephant trunk-like or elephant trunk-like, hence called elephantiasis. And hatragen, it is the effective drug in treating of filariasis or elephantiasis. Female Culex mosquito is the secondary host for Wuchereria bancrofti, and man is the primary host. For Wuchereria bancrofti. So here already we discussed it. What is meant by primary host? What is meant by secondary host? Primary host means the host in which parasites undergoes sexual reproduction, and secondary host means the host in which parasite undergoes asexual reproduction. For malaria or for Plasmodium vivax, man is the secondary host, female Anopheles mosquito is the primary host. But for Wuchereria bancrofti, female Culex mosquito is the secondary host, man is the primary host. Next to enterobiasis, caused by Enterobius vermicularis, and Enterobius vermicularis is commonly called pinworm. It is the intestinal parasite, and symptoms of the enterobiasis include appendix is affected, infection. Next to swollen lymph pods, or intestinal pods, abdominal pain, constipation. So in pathology, diseases, some diseases are nutritional deficiency, by nutritional deficiency are called deficiency disorders or deficiency diseases. For example, kwashiorkor, it is nutritional deficiency disease by or due to the deficit of proteins or deficiency of proteins leads to kwashiorkor. And the second one, marasmus, another nutritional disease or nutritional deficiency disease, marasmus, due to proteins and calories deficiency. Proteins and calories deficiency leads to marasmus. Xerophthalmia or keratomalacia. It is vitamin A deficiency or due to the deficiency of vitamin A leads to xerophthalmia or keratomalacia. Next to rickets or osteomalacia, vitamin D deficiency or due to the deficiency of vitamin D, rickets in children's and osteomalacia, that is in adult. The deficiency of vitamin leads to rickets in children and osteomalacia in adult. Next to sterility due to the deficiency of vitamin E. Vitamin E deficiency leads to sterility. Next important to deficiency disease, bleeding disease due to the deficiency of vitamin K. Beriberi due to the deficiency of vitamin that is B1 vitamin. Next to chelosis, that is vitamin B2. By the deficiency of vitamin B2 leads a disease namely chelosis. And niacin deficiency, by the deficiency of niacin or vitamin B3 leads to pellagra. And due to the deficiency of vitamin B5 leads to a disease namely burning foot disease. Very important for examination point of view. Burning foot disease due to the deficiency of vitamin B5. Chemical name pantothenic acid. So chemical name of vitamin B5, pantothenic acid. Due to the deficiency of vitamin B5 leads to a disease namely burning foot disease. Next to vitamin B12 or due to the deficiency of vitamin B12 leads to pernicious anemia. Okay, and chemical name of vitamin B12, that is a cyanocobalamin, cobalt containing vitamin, cyanocobalamin. Deficiency of vitamin B12 leads to a disease called pernicious anemia. Vitamin B12 and B9, folic acid, common name chemical name folic acid. Vitamin B9 and B12 are essential vitamins for the maturation of RBCs. Very important point for the competitive purpose. Vitamin B9 chemical name folic acid, and vitamin B12 cyanocobalamin, chemical name cyanocobalamin, are the two important vitamins which plays an important role for the maturation of RBCs. Okay, red blood cells. Next to deficiency of iron leads to anemia, and deficiency of iodine deficiency leads to goiter, enlargement of thyroid gland, enlarge. enlargement of thyroid gland is known as goiter. So thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland, that is enlargement of thyroid gland called goiter, that is due to the deficiency of iodine. Next, diseases which are spread from one person to another person through air or droplets or aerosols are called airborne diseases. For example, TB, tuberculosis, it is an airborne disease, and airborne diseases are diseases. TB, flu or influenza. Next is swine flu caused by H1N1 virus. Bird flu, next to measles, pneumonia, etc. are airborne diseases through contamination of air droplets from infected person to the host. TB, tuberculosis, flu or influenza, swine flu, bird flu, measles, next pneumonia, also severe acute respiratory disease. Severe acute respiratory disease or severe acute respiratory syndrome which affects the lungs, also airborne disease category. For example, in the previous questions, which one of the following disease is not or diseases not spread by houseflies? So generally houseflies plays an important role in transportation of food diseases, like act as a vector, particularly amoebiasis, diarrhea, and cholera. These three are the diseases. Housefly plays an important role in transportation of this disease from one person to another person or from one host to another host. Now try to keep in your mind diarrhea, cholera and amoebiasis are the three diseases spread by houseflies.